Hi, you guys. Welcome to Discover doTERRA Essential Oils. This is one of my favorite classes. This is 101. This helps us to learn what to do with what we have, or if we don't have them already, it helps us to learn what to do with them from A to Z. Like, how do we get started? Where do we get started? So here pictured is a box of doTERRA's essential oils, which I absolutely love. If you guys are joining us for the first time, or if you've been here before, let us know in the chat if you have a box like this, or what is it, where do you store your oils? I think sometimes when people are first getting started, they're like, okay, now I've got them everywhere. What do I do with them? And so we have all kinds of tips and things that we're going to share along the way. Okay, first of all, I want you guys to know that this class is being recorded. You'll be able to find the recording in our VIP Good Vibes Facebook group, or you'll also be able to find it on our YouTube channel. We do these classes often. And if you are interested in joining more of them, reach out to the person who invited you here, or just leave one of us a message, and we're happy to connect you with our dates and times and our different class topics. You can always count on us being here every Tuesday, same time, 5:30 Pacific Standard, and we always use the same Zoom link. And so we have 8 different presentations that we present over and over. Now, even though we have the same topics, the classes are most likely to be completely different because we do have different teachers, we'll have different questions. And so if there's something new that we need to share with you guys, then we always do that. This is a look at our class schedules. And so tonight we are starting on our rotation of number 1. So really we're going to talk about the beginning of essential oils and the safety and how we stand out in the market. Okay, so if you're like me, I was in the modern day approach of managing symptoms. You would get something, you would go to the doctor, you would get, a prescription or something, and then from that you would have, side effects, and then you would have all these different things would happen in an order. It's kind of like this revolving door that just keeps going and keeps going. And what we really want to do is find out what's at the root cause and spend more time finding out, why is my body acting this way, or why is my immunity compromised, or what are some of the things that I can do naturally to protect it and to support it so that I can get the best benefits without the side effects. You guys, it's crazy to me to know that over $6.5 trillion is spent globally every year on healthcare. And are we healthier because of it? I've personally believe that we are in a sicker community or a sicker world right now than we've ever been before. And that is not because of what the different ways that we've been, coached by our doctors and different things. And so I believe that in order for us to get different results, we need to do different things. And that starts with nature. Being able to find out what it is that my body needs, and then being able to utilize what I have to be able to support it the best way possible. Now, I want to just tell you a few things that I think are really important, and doTERRA is different. I know, I know a lot of you guys are probably going, I know everybody says their product is different. Everybody says their product is better, but I really want you to know that doTERRA spends a lot of time, money, resources, and science to back up what we have and what we claim. So in our products, you will not find fillers. You will never find synthetic ingredients or a dilution of something besides our coconut oil, which is how we help dilute so it will spread further without any bad side effects, and you'll get a better result. Now, each one of our oils are grown from plants that are ideally grown in their ideal, sorry, environment, which means if I was here trying to grow a lemon tree, I live in northeastern Nevada where the weather's always, 4 seasons, and it's extremely in 4 seasons. We're super lucky if we can get our gardens to grow. So if I were trying to plant a lemon tree here and have a lemon produce that was nice and juicy and ripe and beautiful and full of nutrients, there's no way. Even if I had it in my house, it would not be able to happen. So I love that doTERRA goes to the natural resources, which for us, we go to Italy for our lemons. We'll go to France for our lavender. We go around the world. And another reason I love that is because we're getting the most potent product, the most potent uh, essential oils in their best environment. Now, we also want you to know that we do lots and lots of testing to make sure that our products are pure. They are they don't have contaminants. They don't have things in it, pesticides and things that might have come from the ground. I love that doTERRA not only tests the plant and the oils that are coming out, but they test the soil. So if the soil has had any kind of disturbance in 7 to 10 years, they will not use the plant or the essential oil that comes from it. It has to be pure. And, and there's a lot of places across the country where if you're doing an organic farm, but your neighbor isn't, your products are getting exposed even from rainwater and different things. So I love that doTERRA goes the extra mile to make sure that we are getting exactly what they say is inside the bottle. Now, because of this safety and because of our CPTG, which every single bottle has on it, it stands for certified pure tested grade essential oil. And because of those testings, we are able to use them not only topically and aromatic, but we're also able to use them internally, which really has us standing out in the crowd. I like to joke with people sometimes and they'll say, "Oh, I know, I saw this oil and I went down to, the big market store to get it and, and it was, $5.99. Why is yours cost what it costs?" And I'm like, "Well, you'll never see me using a candle or a Glade plug-in or something in the wall to help with my health benefits." And so if you're spending like $5.99 on something, if it sounds too good to be true, I guarantee you it is. So I want you guys to take a screenshot of this screen here because at the bottom of it, it has a website where you can go to training.doterra.com/ and you can do different things. And this one has a essential oil safety course. It's free. It's really easy to do, and it's really easy to learn, and you're learning from the very best. So to me, it's like I wanted to empower myself and my family with knowing why. Like, why is this the way you use it, or where does it come from, and how does it work? You guys, doTERRA's essential oils have been studied over and over and over by a lot of different universities, like by a lot of different scientists, and that is one of the things that I love most about it is we don't just claim it, we back it up. And more, you're going to start seeing our essential oils being able to be registered as over the counter. So excited. Okay, so now we're going to go into, we have 3 questions that are often asked by most people who join us. And the first one is, are they safe? And what's in the bottle? So we just spent a lot of time going over CPTG and what ours is different, but I'm just going to point out a few more things. Now, pictured here on the left is a bottle and it has the supplement facts on the outside. You guys, this is really important because when I first got introduced to doTERRA, I thought, oh, coconut oil. I'll just go and get a coconut oil from the health food store. Well, when I turned over the bottle and I started reading the label, I was really surprised to see that there was multiple things in that bottle, had nothing to do with coconut oil. And so same thing with like if you're going to buy cranberry juice. When's the last time you went to the grocery store and tried to find cranberry juice? You turn it over and it's got grape juice and all kinds of sugars and everything else added. And if you're lucky, it has cranberry in it and not cranberry flavoring. So that's why looking at the labels and learning what's in the bottle is so important. So like I mentioned earlier, our oils are 100% pure. They are unadulterated. When they've done lots of different studies, and Birch is one of them, where they studied, I think, 19 different top of the market birch oils, and not one of the 19 had birch oil even in the bottle. You guys, it's crazy, right? But it's not really what's in the bottle, it's what they say is in or not in the bottle that really matters. So we got to become really good detectives on finding out, making sure that if I'm going to use an essential oil or teach somebody about essential oils, I want to make sure that it is going to do and it is what it says it is. So it's not only the most tested, it is the most tested. It's also the most trusted essential oil in the market. And I love that it's not, we don't only recommend people to use it internally, we recommend it. And so it's like, gosh, I love being able to have that ability. Now, on the picture on the right, you guys, there's education is really key. And just if people come to my classes and learn something, and then they go to, say, the dollar store or the gas station, or somebody gives them an essential oil of some kind, you never know what's in that bottle. A normal bottle of essential oil, in order for it to be labeled 100% pure, only has to have 6% of the essential oil in the bottle, and they can fill it up with anything else that they want. And it's not regulated. So seriously, they could put anything they want in the bottle and still sell it as 100% pure. And it's such I just feel so misled when I see that kind of thing happen. Now, this is a picture of a couple little girls who went to their grandma's house, and she uses doTERRA, but she had run out, and so they wanted to have some lavender on before bed, and so she just went to the cupboard and reached in, and whatever she could find in there, she got it out and put it on. And you can see that they got chemical burns from one of the essential oils that actually we actually recommend it for burns. And so it is important, you guys. Don't ever take it for, whatever it says on the label. If it's not something that you trust, you need to make sure you do the research. And that's why we are so passionate about teaching our classes and inviting you guys to join us. Okay, so now the next thing is safety. So are they safe? Well, there's 3 places that we never recommend putting them in your eyes. You never put them directly in your ears or directly up your nose. Now, you may on occasion hear people say, oh yeah, I had something going on with my ear, so I put a little bit of essential oil and I went around. We're going around the outside of the ear, or we might put a drop on a cotton ball and put that cotton ball in the ear, but you'll never see us say, okay, yeah, go put 4 drops of whatever anywhere in your in your eyes, nose, or ears. Another really great safety tip that I want to teach you guys, and I want you to remember, is less is more. So the less essential oil that you use more often is going to give you a much better result than using a whole bunch of essential oil all at once and then not using it for hours and hours or days, right? A lot of times people will say to me, oh, I know, I used it last week and it just didn't seem to work. And I'm like, well, when did you use it and how did you use it? Oh, I just put it on in the morning before I went to work. It's like, oh my gosh, you need to use it throughout the day. Especially if your body is nagging at you going, okay, there's something wrong, then we get to do less essential oil more often. Now, we also have a handful of essential oils that are hot. And so if you look at the one in the middle with the flames around it, just to list a few of them, and they're all listed in a book, or if you go online and you look up a doTERRA oil, if it's hot, it's going to tell you so. So cassia is from the cinnamon family. Cinnamon, oregano is one of the hottest essential oils. And when we're talking hot, so if you put straight oregano on, some people can put it on their skin, no problem. But more likely than not, people will put it on their hand or something, or on a piece of, the back of their hand, and it could leave a red welt or even a burn in some cases. So we will definitely educate you guys on how to use your hot oils, because they are also the ones that are the real big fighters. So when you have something going on in your immunity is compromised, or you've got something on your skin that you really want to be aggressive on, that's when we want those hot oils. We just need to learn how to use them. Now, dilution. So so if you have, say, your back is all messed up and you're hurting really bad, and it might take 5 or 10 drops of essential oil to cover your back. Well, the reality of it is that you only need 1 to maybe 3 drops for an adult, less than a drop for a child. So we always use a dilution. So we have an unscented coconut oil, or sorry, we have an unscented lotion, and we also have our fractionated coconut oil. What I love about the fractionated coconut oil is that it doesn't have fat in it. It doesn't have any scent in it. So it's not going to clog your pores. It's super lightweight. It leaves your skin feeling super silky and soft. And you can use, dilution of whatever kind you need to. And I use coconut oil on my entire body in most of my recipes. And then lastly, we need to know that some of the citrus oils are photosensitive, which means that if you're putting them on your skin, so say you love lemon and you're getting ready to go out to the beach or something, you don't want to put lemon directly on your face because it could make your skin photosensitive, which means that you could burn easily. Now you can always put them in your drinks or your water and you can drink them and that's not a problem. Or you can also put them where the sun don't shine and still use them and have the benefit. But you'll want to avoid putting them directly on your skin. And this counts for tanning beds also. I have a niece who was getting ready to get married, and so she was doing a lot of tanning and tanning beds, and she had put a bunch of essential oils on her belly and then went and laid in the tanning bed, and it burned and blistered her skin. It was nothing to be joking about, and she definitely learned a big lesson. So sunbed, tanning bed, sunshine, just be cautious. And if you have any questions about the safety, you guys always reach out to us because we always have tips and things that we can teach you so that you can still be super effective with using your essential oils. And by all means, we don't ever want you guys to be scared to use them. Now, doTERRA, and this is how we were talking earlier about there's 3 different ways you can use them: aromatic, topical, and internal. Now you can see here on the screen, just by diffusing them in a room, what I love about that is everybody in the room is getting the benefit. So if I'm in a board meeting and people, it's really heated, I could put calming essential oils. Or if I am in a classroom and the kids are, super active and excited for the holiday break or something, I can diffuse oils that will help them be calm. I can also target, learning, focus, uh, immunity, and so I love being able to use them aromatically. Now, the second one is topical. What I love about topical use is you can put it directly where your issue is. So if I have something going on with my knee, guess what? I can target it. I can put the essential oil directly on that spot, and it will instantly start working, and I'll start to get some benefits from that. And unlike, if I've got something going on with my knee, the old me years ago would have said, oh, I've got to take a capsule for that. And then it would take, 20, 30 minutes to dissolve before it started to go to work. So now I love that we can target exactly what it is that we need, where we need it. I love that we can put our essential oils in, different body rubs and lotions. And, I have a great one I love to I call it Skin Glow, and it's for my skin to help with, fine lines and things like that. Now, the third way, which is probably my favorite, especially when it comes to my health, is to be able to take them internally. Now, you can use them in cooking. Have any of you guys tell us in the chat, have you used any essential oils in cooking? And if so, what's your favorite one to cook with? Now, right now, I've got a cup of hot water and I put a couple of drops of different essential oils in it because I've had a little tickle in my throat and I wanted to be able to present without, coughing or whatever. So I love that I can do it that way. You can also put them directly under your tongue. Now you'll want to, look at the ones that are hot or not, and look for that label that shows that they are for internal purposes. A lot of times people will take an empty veggie cap and create a capsule of what they need exactly, because sometimes you guys, we can put things on topical and get a result, but we may get a completely different result when we put them inside and they start to work from the inside out. So great ways that we can use them. There's not a glass of water that goes in my head that doesn't have an essential oil in it because of the benefits. Okay, now the second question, gosh, we're only on number 2. Are they effective? So if you guys look at this picture here, it shows a picture of a cell. Now we know from, being raised, we know that if you have a virus, what happens? Like, I wish we were live sitting here right now so I could say, okay, what happens when you go to the doctor and they say you have a virus? Okay, well, I'll just answer. It's like, oh, sorry, there's nothing we can do. Like, you're going to need to go home and rest and, sweat it out or drink chicken soup or something. If you have a bacteria, they'll say, oh, yeah, no, we've got something for that. And we're going to give you a product and it's going to go in and it's going to wipe out all of the bacteria, good and bad, out of your body, which for in some cases, it leaves you a little present behind, right? So what I'm going to show you guys why I love this for viruses is go back to that cell. You'll see the purple cell in the middle and you'll see this little outer membrane. That membrane is super smart and it keeps out the bad stuff. It lets out the bad stuff, but it also will keep a virus inside of a cell and then it can't cross over. And medications can't cross over. So the really cool thing about this is because essential oils are natural and they have nothing added to them or nothing taken away from them, it's super easy for them to go over to cross that cell membrane and go in and start to knock out the virus. So it stops it in its tracks. So it's kind of like, no, you're not going to hang out here. And then it stops to that duplication and everything. So when we're using essential oils for viruses or bacterias, it's really important to continue to use the right ones for the right reason. And just like you would a prescription, if the doctor used to say to me, take this until it's gone, or, 5 or 6 days after you feel better, then that's the same thing that I use today is I continue to use those high-powered essential oils in case there's something hiding somewhere. I don't want it to have a rear up and have another problem. You guys, I got a little secret for you right now. In the middle, we have a picture of frankincense, which if you've hung out with us very long at all, you know that when in doubt, the frankincense, get it out. It is the king of essential oils, and there might just be a promotion in December. If you guys are watching the replay and it's past December, sorry, but watch closely at our announcements because there's something special coming in December, and it has something to do with frankincense. Okay, so the third question, you guys, is are they affordable? I think most of the people that I talk to in the beginning, they say, oh my gosh, how, it costs so much. How much is that? Well, when you really look at a bottle, a 15 ml bottle has 250 drops in it. You guys, that's 250 uses. So in most cases for an adult, it's 1 to 2 drops. For children, it's even less. So you're using a lot less of it. And when you look at some of the prices of their top oils that are used over and over and over, like On Guard, you guys, it's anything protective, 16 cents a drop. Now, tell me when you go to the doctor, what does it cost you? So in most cases, when you're going to the doctor, if you're a mom, you're dragging kids along. If you're work, you're taking time off work. You're exposing yourself to other people who are sick because who goes to the doctor? Sick people go to the doctor. So when you go to the doctor and you're hanging out with a bunch of sick people, you can probably expect to come home with something, right? So if I can prevent myself from doing that and be able to use some of my essential oils and some of my natural remedies to, get better faster and more effectively, then why not? So I want you to look at the recipe on the bottom left-hand side. So what brought me to doTERRA was allergies. I used to have these flare-ups to the point where my face was kind of start to tingle a little bit. And within about 5 to 10 minutes, I would be completely swollen across my nose, across my eyes, to where my eyes would rub on my sunglasses and they would be bulged shut. You guys, this was one of the scariest things because not only was that happening, but then my throat would start to close and I would just itch, and it was putting me in bed at least half of the month with these attacks from allergies. So I was taking a bunch of Benadryl. I was taking shots from the doctor. I was going up and down the, pharmacy aisle, and I would try all the different things, daytime and nighttime and, whatever it was, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, all of the things. And I wasn't getting any better. And so when I was introduced to doTERRA, I was super excited. I was a little worried because I'm allergic to so many things, but I thought, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to give it a whirl. So I started with 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of peppermint. You guys, 60 cents. I was taking pills and having shots that were costing way more than that. So I was super grateful when not only did I have almost an instant relief, because again, when I would have those attacks, you guys, I would be it'd be 20, 30 minutes before whatever pills I took would start to work. So with essential oils, whether I'm putting them on my throat or, under my nose or around my eyes or in my mouth, I'm getting instant results. That is worth its weight in gold alone. So you guys, I'm so excited that I was able to, be introduced to these products, and yes, they are affordable. My family, when we looked at the different things, I have a book, opened it up, and I started looking at all the different things, one for my husband, one for my son, one for myself, and I thought, if it even saves us 10% of what we're spending at our doctors every month, we're going to be so far ahead. And you guys know what the biggest savings was? The side effects. Because the side effects were way worse in most cases than the effect that was happening. So I'm so grateful. And yes, they are affordable. Okay, here is a list of what we want to have firsthand on reach. So I showed you a picture earlier, and it had some of our most popular go-to oils. So every single person I know needs to have these in their household. You want to have them before you need them, and you want to be educated on what to do once you have something come up, so that if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you wake up with a fever, or you've got a child that is, upset to the stomach, or whatever the ailment is, you can without a doubt reach for one of these and you're going to be able to get a great benefit. Now, I could go through each one of these and tell you something really cool. I'm going to go to oregano. You guys, oregano sometimes is referred to as the natural antibiotic. So I have a nephew who used to get warts all over. Like, he'd have them around his eyes, he'd have them on his forehead, he had them all over his hands. And we had heard that by using oregano and applying it topical to the wart, it would help it go away. So what do? We get a toothpick and we start dipping it in the top of the lid, and we start putting it on these warts. You guys, within about 4 days, his warts were starting to go away, and they never came back, which was really cool, because when he'd gone to the doctor before and had them froze off or cut off or dug out or whatever, they would usually come back with it about 3 to 6 months. And oregano was something that stopped it in its track. Now I teach people that when you use oregano, use it with your pinky. Like, if you get it on your hands, put your pinky on there, because never have I ever really taken my pinky and scratched my eye, but I would on my pointer finger, right? I would forget and I would touch my face, and we have talked about it being hot. Now, the next one that I want to point out here is Breathe. So Breathe has been a gateway oil for so many of the people that I love. My dad actually died from asthma. So when it comes to asthma or respiratory issues, I take it super serious. And I wish that this would have been in my life when he was still around, because he would have absolutely loved this stuff. So Breathe is one that I love using for, I'm getting ready to go for a walk and I want to not be winded, so I'll put it underneath my nose. I'll take Breathe if I am in an anxious state, like I say I'm really upset about something. You guys, when we get upset, we tend to hold our breath, like, well, and then the oxygen isn't getting to our brain, and we're not being able to think straight. Literally, we're not thinking straight. So whether somebody's grieving or just exercising, or, just got a lot going on, I love Breathe essential oil. Now, I also have helped a lot of people be able to get rid of their inhalers by putting a drop in the palm of their hand, kind of rubbing it around. And I actually looked this up on YouTube, is making a tube with your opposite hand, placing it over the essential oil, and then breathing through your mouth like it's a big tube. You guys, it filters that oil down deeper into your lungs, and you can feel like, I feel my chest opening up. People have been able to get instant relief and opening those airways without having to use an inhaler, which has tons of bad side effects, and been able to go on their way. I could go on for hours. DigestZen, I'm just going to say, reach out to the person and ask, who invited you here, and ask them, why would you use DigestZen for your sinuses? And just see what they say. Okay. So now we have mind and mood. You guys, this is where I started with essential oils. Besides the lemon, lavender, and peppermint, my gateway was Balance essential oils, featured here on the left-hand side on the top. This was one that when I cracked that bottle open and I took my first whiff out of it, I felt I had just gone to heaven. I'm not kidding. Like, I felt peace. I felt grounded. I felt like I was going to be okay. And I can't explain it other than that. And this essential oil, I carried around in my pocket for at least the first year. Not kidding. People would be out anywhere I was. I could be at a meeting, I could be driving down the road, I could be at work, wherever, it didn't matter. And still to this day, balance, adaptive, and serenity are either on me or being diffused around me every day. I love these essential oils. You can see that each one of them kind of has the way that they benefit or support us the best. Now, even though on Serenity it says irritable, disconnected, stressed, or sadness, now you may smell this one and go, oh, yeah, I like it, but not as much as when I smell adaptive, I feel completely happy. So everybody's going to have a little bit different reaction, but these are guidelines of they work for everyone. And what I also love about these oils that are shown here is guys and girls like them the same. Little kids like them, adults like them, older people like them. Everybody can use them and really get some benefit. And they don't have the scents are really calming and very happy. Okay, then we have inflammation. So inflammation, how many of you guys or somebody you know has pain? Has something that's chronic or something that happens, whether it's, I worked hard in my yard or I've gone hiking or maybe I just getting out of bed sometimes is like, oh gosh, my feet are killing. So I love that we can reach to any of these different products. Deep Blue is a staple in our home. Copaiba, these are all things that so in some cases, you guys, they are meant as a supplement. So you would take them on a more regular basis to get a better and better result. Some, you might use them just on occasion when you need them. I love that we have the flexibility and we can use these as needed. And that everybody in our household, you guys, can use these. So for little tiny people, you're just going to use less of it. For, people like me who love them, I don't worry one bit about taking a cup of Epsom salt and putting 15 drops of my whatever essential oil I want in it and soaking in it for, 30 minutes. I love that I don't have to worry about it. And we can customize and create anything that it is that we want. Okay, so now we're going to go into the wellness part. So there's a foundation. So the essential oils are great, and we can use them for all kinds of mood changing, happiness, joy, skin irritation. We can use them for discomforts in the body. But really, when it comes down to it, the number one thing that we need to look at or consider is our foundation wellness. And so how many of you guys are familiar with what's in the picture? Lifelong vitality. So now we have two options. We have this one, which is our number one ordered product in an essential oil company, comes from our lifelong vitality. It's a 3-part. And you can see we are so deficient in so many different things, right? We can't really get our nutrition without supplementation anymore. And so we get to be really good detectives once again on, is it okay for my body to take? Like, what is my body utilizing it? Is this something that is bioavailable? So there's key words, you guys, that if you're taking a bunch of supplements of some kind, is your body able to break them down and absorb the nutrition? That is something that doTERRA has spent a lot of time and money in being able to find out and resource and provide for us. And if you look here, you can see, we've got our XC Omega, which is just packed full of essential oils. It's great for everything from our heart health to our brain health and everything, just making everything work right. Our Alpha CRS and then our Microplex VMZ loaded with all kinds of great support for us. Then this year, doTERRA, here we go. And when you purchase it, anytime you purchase one of our key products or a packet of something, then a little drop-down menu comes and you can get up to 3 additional products below wholesale pricing, right? So we have our award-winning collagen, which there are so many people that I know, especially in our doTERRA community, that do not go a day without these 2 products. And then because of those products, we have other ones. So sometimes people might have extra digestive issues, or maybe you want more of a great gut, sorry, the PB Restore, or maybe you're on a journey and you have little ones that you want to be able to introduce to our supplements too, or need extra energy. We have all of those things for you guys. Okay, so then this year, doTERRA introduced something new. We wanted something that was easy for people to take. Sometimes people have a difficult time taking capsules, or they don't want to take so many capsules, so they're sick and tired of taking capsules. So VMG, which is vitamins, minerals, and greens. You guys, this is so much more than just a little packet. It tastes delicious. Every single person that I have talked to, my entire family, is drinking this, where sometimes before it was like I would have to, honey, did you take your Lifelong Vitality? Now he's asking me for this. People notice that their energy goes up. It tastes amazing. And then also we have a new Omega, which is, again, it's kind of like 10x from what we had before. So much better. And you can see on the right-hand side, it's not just omegas. It is just packed full of things that will help with your respiratory system, helps with your blood, it helps with your fatty acids, it'll help with your immunity, it helps with your cardiovascular system. These are really delicious. And if you guys are interested, they also have bundles where you can bundle up things and you can save even more. In the top picture, it shows you the VMG can come by itself, or you save when you add the Omega or the PB Restore. And then a bundle, you can, when you buy a bundle, one of those two shown above, then you get this drop down menu where you can add even more additional things on for you and your family. Okay, so the best way to order, you guys, is through our rewards program. We're getting ready to make it even better starting in the first part of the year. But what I love most about it, you guys, is for every dollar that I spend, I earn reward points back where I can turn them into free product, and it's like free dollars and free money. I don't know another system out there that gives you rewards that are up to ours. So we start giving you back at 10% back for the first 3 months. And then every 3 months, it goes up 5% until after a year, you're getting 30% back. You guys, wouldn't you love it if the grocery store or the gas station gave you back 30% for every dollar you spent? Well, this is so incredible that doTERRA does this for us. They also, at different levels of spending, you can get free shipping, you can get a free product every month. And this next month, if you guys are watching the replay and it's past December again, that King of Oils that's coming, you guys, there's a benefit that's coming and a promotion that you're going to just love. So make sure you're watching and paying attention to that. All right, so I'm going to just kind of wind it up with some helpful tips. You guys, if you're not using it, you're not going to get results. Just like I said earlier, when I had the friend who said, oh yeah, I used it last week and it didn't work. It's like, well, you have to keep using it. If you've been dealing with something for years, it might take more than 1 or 2 uses to get it solved, right? But our goal here is to solve and to get your health and your happiness, your joy and your sleep, everything better and better and better. So in order to do that, you're going to need to come up with some kind of a routine. When do you do what? Like sometimes people will say, okay, when's the best time to take my Lifelong Vitality or my VMG? And it's like, when you'll take it. Like if you forget, or if you get in your day, or you forget halfway through the day or whatever, take it. Still take it. It's going to be something that's good for you. Consistency is key. The longer you take something and the more consistent you are, the better result. What do you want for your life? Like if you came to me and said, Hayley, I want to sleep better. Like I'm tired and exhausted all the time. Well, then let's target that. And what are some of the products and what are some of the routines and the things that we can do to help you get that better sleep? Because as you get better sleep, you're going to have more energy. You're going to do more things. You're going to be happier. You're going to want to go outside. You're going to want to play. All the things start to happen. Okay. Another really key thing is to put them where you can see them or where you'll use them. So I have on my bathroom counter right next to my sink. I have the oils that I use for my skincare, for my face, for my body after I get out of the shower. When I pull out my drawer and I have, both of my toothpaste sitting there, and I have the mouthwash, and I have all this stuff is ready and it's sitting right there because if I had to dig through drawers or have to remember it, I would forget. I have the ones that I use at night. I have a drawer that I pull out. I have a lot of them. And then I have the main one sitting right on my nightstand. In the kitchen, I have this really cute little holder that has all of my citrus oils. I have my cooking oils in this little wood box. In my laundry room, I have the ones that I use in my laundry. You guys, it didn't start out that way for me. I started out with one bag and I carried it from work. I carried it around my house. I carried it upstairs. I carried it downstairs. I carried it with me like it was a pacifier. And now, because of all of I'm able to get free products and different things, I have them in multiple places. You guys, the next thing is discover how to use your oils, what's available for you. We have tons of different resource books. We have education. We have our VIP Facebook page where you can, what I love about it, you guys, it's got years of classes, testimonials, protocols, things that have worked. And so what are those resources? Do you go to those resources? And then, of course, let us help you buy them at the best price. And that's where we teach you how to go in. And, sometimes people will buy one thing every month. Some people like me are buying, 10 or 15 things every month. I've been able to replace everything in my household, from laundry detergent to cleaning supplies to, my self-care, all the things. And now I get to earn back reward points and stuff. Okay. All right, you guys, there are so many fun ways that we get to share with other people. There are people who you're going, I don't want to sell it at all. And that's one of the things when I help people get their own wholesale account, the first thing they say is, I don't want to sell anything. Great, don't. Like, you don't have to. We want to help you get the stuff at the best price. And you may have people or friends that are saying, well, where are you getting it? Or you're going, I'm not buying it for everybody. They can get their own. So every single person who has an account has a referral link. It's so easy. You can copy, you can paste it, you can get free product. Then we also have people like me who are going, you know what? I am into it. I love this product and I love helping people, that I am so excited every single time somebody says yes. And then I can help them get it into their household. And it turned mine into, my first goal was to get my oils for free. And then it's turned into replacing my income and, supplementing my husband's income and being able to travel all over doing what I love. So there is something in there for everybody. Reach out and let us know how we can best support you in fulfilling your dream. Or maybe for you, it's how do I get, an extra $50 a month? I know an extra $50 a month right now is making a difference for so many people. So we have everything at different levels. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. I know that people are busy. I know that the season is busy, and I know that you could be a million different ways. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, we have a YouTube channel that you can watch our classes at. We have our Facebook group where we have the classes go live up in there. And then anybody who invited you here, or if you have somebody that you want to share one of these classes with, we have a link that we can share with you where you can text it to anybody and they can learn what you learned tonight. There is a QR code on the screen right now. If you snapshot that, it'll put you in connection with us in all the different places. We have a great newsletter. We have all kinds of fun things. And then next week, mark your calendars and set an alarm. Join us for our daily vitality, nutrition, and supplements. So some of those things I kind of just breezed over. We're going to do deep dive in and why. Like, what's in it and why, and how do we use it to get the best results? You guys, again, thank you so much for joining. We're going to open it up here for some questions. If anybody's here has any questions or any comments, or if anybody has a testimonial that they'd like to share, we can open that up now.
I have a new testimonial.
I'd love it, Diane. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, we were just traveling because we had a death in the family. So, I was staying with my sister, and a friend of theirs came over, and he had in the past been in a really, really horrific motorcycle accident and had all kinds of things done to him. He had a scar at the base of his spine where they had to do whatever. He's had a trach, he was a mess. He's lucky to be alive kind of guy. And you could tell that he was in pain. And Jeff's the one that actually noticed it. He was kind of like hunched over, and so we were talking and he's talking about all of it. And I said, "Are you in pain now?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, can I help you?" And so long story short, I got some oils on him and I put frankincense, marjoram, and lemongrass just in his scar area at the base of his back, of his spine. And then I put the deep blue stick on top of that. And about 15 minutes later, Jeff said to me, he goes, "Look at that." He goes, "He's standing straight up. He's not
Mm,
hunched over anymore." And I got a phone. So my brother-in-law the next morning went off to do whatever he does. And he called my sister and he says, tell your sister to call David because he slept through the night with no pain.
mm.
And he wants to get whatever you put on him. So,
It's incredible. And we forget because we use them and we firsthand reach to this stuff so often that we forget where we were. We forget
mhm.
that the power that these have. I was just listening to a Aroma Touch and Symphony of the Cells training, and I was listening to a gal sharing her testimonials, and I'm like, you know what? Shame on us if we're not out there sharing this and talking and telling people about it.
Mhm.
We're giving them an opportunity, just like you did, Diane, to try it.
Yeah. And he was reluctant. And like at first he wouldn't. And I said, "Please, let me just put this on you. It's not going to hurt you. Let me just put this on you." I offered to give him something internally. He didn't want that. I'm like, "Okay, let me just put this on your back." He's
Mm.
finally like, "Okay." Yeah.
And how cool is that? Well, good
Yeah.
job on being
Cool.
brave and having what you needed where you needed it. We travel around with those little mini kits that you can, have 8 little bottles in and stuff. And it's so important that, and I know you specifically have a couple of different ones. It's kind of like, okay, this one is my emotions, and this one is my, everyday or pain or something. And so it's
Yeah.
really
And what's even, I mean, he knows he needs it,
mm,
and because he even told me, he goes, I don't have any money. Like, I don't really even have a job. Like, he works for my brother-in-law once in a while, and because he's dealing with some kind of lawsuit or something. So he's financially strapped, but he went home and obviously shared with his mom because he said his mom's going to pay for this. I mean, this is a 50-year-old man, 55 years old, whatever. And, you know, he knows what he needs. So super
we
great,
we
super
also
grateful.
yeah, we also find a way to get what it is that we want,
Yeah. Or we need.
that we
Yeah.
need it. It's like, no, whatever that just was, I need to have it. So what do I
Mhm.
need to do to get it?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about some of the things that we do here locally is we'll sell people, drops of things to get them started.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. So thank you, Diane. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. Okay, Sarah.
Kudos to you, Diane, because you knew the 3 powerful oils real fast that would be applied to that spine that would be the most effective. So kudos to you because you reached for the right ones and you've helped me numerous times as well. Mine is not as big as yours, but it was super exciting. I have a gal. She orders, but it's just dips, and goes. And I just have this feeling to reach out to her to check in on her. And she said, "I'm doing okay. I've just had this weird allergic reaction, so they put me on 2 steroids." And she's anti-doctor, so I was really surprised she did that. And I said, she goes, "What are you thinking?" And I said, "Well, naturally, I would just go to lavender." She has a rash all over her face, all over her chest, and she couldn't figure it out. She's changed nothing in her diet, all the things, very healthy woman. And so I said, I just encourage you to put lavender underneath your tongue and maybe put it diluted with coconut oil on your face. And the next morning at 5:01, she said, "You are my Lord and Savior." And she said, "The rash is completely gone. I cannot believe this. I've had some weird side effects with these steroids, the cream, the things they're having me take. I just threw them in the trash and I cannot wait." And then today, so today would be day 5, she said, "Sarah, I'm not kidding you. My skin is absolutely glowing. And I'm continuing to do the lavender and coconut oil. What else can I add?" And I said I would add frankincense. So it was just really neat because um, I just happened to reach out to her. She did not reach out to me for suggestions, and it went pretty well.
So cool. So good, right? And sometimes you guys, we may not know. It's like, okay, should we use this one or this one? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can, and you can try them and just, gosh, this one seems to be really doing good. So I shared with you guys before, but I'm gonna share again. My husband who was traveling and had this big like burn, like it looked like a chemical burn on his arm, and he didn't have a bunch of stuff with him. Of course, he has On Guard, so he's putting On Guard around it, but he had lavender and he had the Omega, the new Omega, and he thought, you know what, I'm just gonna poke it and put it on there. He said as soon as he put that on there, and he had lavender too. I don't remember if I said that. And he said, as soon as I put it on, the area started to calm down. And then fast forward like 2 or 3 days, he's going, well, now I'm going to start trying all these different things. And so he started, getting into his oil box and trying, and he went back to the lavender and the Omega and got the best results with that. Now, who would have ever thought to do that? And he's like, no, Hayley, he goes, I can't wait. He goes, you need to get me, some information so I can take it to the dermatologist. Cause even though he's, it's almost completely better. Like you can barely tell where it was. He's still going to take it in, go in and get it checked to make sure it's okay and everything. But he said, I want that he goes, I want information to show the doctor, this is all I did. Like, this is what I used. And it really helped. And then I was like, why don't you just take the bottle? Like take the bottle so he can look at the bottle, read the label. We'll leave a few in there if he wants some of them or whatever. But I was so excited that my husband is so excited about that. And he has heard me so many times say, I don't know, but if you've got something, get it out and get it on you. Because it's going to do something. And there's always an essential oil that is going to be the best one or the most supportive. But up until then, it's like, gosh, let's get started with something. So Diane might have looked at the guy and go, hey, you need whatever, but I've got these three. Let's start. Or maybe she's like, no, I've got perfect what you need, you know? So, and with Sarah, it's like you're doing a great job with talking to people and letting them know that, hey, I do have solutions. I will look into the root cause. I will continue to, find out what it is and investigate. We're not doctors. I mean, here's the biggest claim of all is I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I barely even can spell my name and speak sometimes, but I do research and I do love this product and I do believe in this company. I'm going to share one more quick thing and then if anybody else has something. So I remember years ago, I was out in Nevada, Missouri, or not, maybe not Nevada. I was in Missouri with Kelly and we were doing an aroma touch training and we had a break for lunch. And so we walked next door to this little restaurant and we're all sitting down eating or whatever. And this guy walks in, this dad, and he's got one kid on the hip and he's got another one he's holding the hand and two more that are trailing behind. And the one little girl is just crying, like she's just sobbing. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So I walk over to the table and I said, you're going to think I'm really weird. I said, but I have something that might help calm her down. Would you be willing to let her smell it? And I took the lid off and I smelled it first. And then I put it towards the dad and I said, go ahead and smell. And then the one little girl was kind of like looking at me weird. So I says, and she was probably about 6. And I said, okay, let her smell it. The one was probably 2 or 3 at the most. And they're all smelling it. And pretty soon the littlest one who is crying, she's over there and she's smelling this little bottle. And the dad looks at me and he goes, what the heck is that? Guess what oil it was? Balance. You guys, it's the one that I carry in my pocket. And the guy, and then I come back and I sit down. And at this point, the dad's smiling, the little kids are all smiling. I've got it in their hands and they're able to eat their lunch and enjoy it. So, of course, everybody at the class, sitting at the table, they're like, what did you just do? You guys, sometimes, just like Diane, we get to be brave. We get to know that we have a solution and I don't think there's anything wrong with going up and saying, you're going to think I'm weird, but, and then I started with letting the dad smell it first. So he knew I didn't just walk up and start dumping it out, you know? So anyway, it was a really fun thing to be able to do and witness and watch. So, all right, you guys, anybody else have anything that they want to add or questions, testimonials, comments? All right. Okay, well, let's see, are we doing a Wednesday tomorrow? Is there? Okay, so we have Wednesday class tomorrow. So you guys can tune in here to the same Zoom number at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time and catch us here then. And until then, we will see you guys at our next class. Thank you so much for joining. Everybody have a great night and a happy Thanksgiving. Bye, everybody.